Hello everyone! It's a lovely sunny day here. Glad you all could join us for our last lamb cam of the year. Well, not of the year, of the lambing season. We're thinking about maybe doing some more, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes at the moment. We've got the second two lots of sheep in. Now, if you tuned in last week, you would have seen that I showed you the Kerry Hill sheep that we've just brought in the tunnel, and we didn't have the Norfolk horns in yet, so I'll show you them as well. Now, we've got some Oxfords still to lamb, and we've got two of them, and they should really be done by now, but late lambers, and we've got now the Kerry Hills and the Norfolks, so they're the next two to lamb on top of the Portlands, and that should be us done lambing by hopefully sort of May time, fingers crossed. Now, the good thing is today is that my comments are working again. So hello Emily, she says happy to be seeing this. Morning Karen, morning Joanne, thanks so much for joining us. Good morning everyone, hi. Yeah, I'm really glad the comments are working. I have no idea what happened last week, but they just decided not to work. So, a lambing update since last week. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lambs born, which is great. So I'll show you them. I'll flip the camera around and you can see them. So we've had 4 Oxfords born. We've had 1 grey-faced Dartmoor born, and this morning, which sorry I wasn't able to film obviously, we've had a Norfolk, our first Norfolk ewe, born, the lamb's born this morning, and that was about 6:15. Now, what happened with her was that she's got twins. One was born breech, and the other one is with her. So I'll tell you what's going to happen with that. But first of all, I'll show you the new arrivals. So I believe we've got twin girls, and I think we've got a girl and a boy. So I will do a wee flipperoo so you can see. So this is one of the new mums. Lammy number 1 and Lammy number 2. Just having a wee snooze. There, oh, we're getting up. She's a great mum. Everyone's just snoozing away. Now, this is the other 2 Norfolks. Sorry, Oxford. It's been a long week. So you'll see, I don't know if you can see properly, I'll try and zoom in, but this wee lammy here, it's got lovely white patches in its ears, and it is the cutest thing. Now, she has a sister who is snoozing away. Snoozy, snoozy. Just fast asleep. Now, if we scan over a wee bit, we have one of the grey-faced Dartmoors, and she lambed a lovely single lamb in the field. And this is him. He's having a little sleep. So we've named him Archie Jr. And we've named him that because one of our sheepdogs, Archie, has really taken to him, and he loves licking him. So he is now Archie Jr. And this is Mum. And he's just having a wee snooze, aren't you? Hello, are you sleeping? Oh yeah, it's a nice full tummy with milk. He is lovely, I have to say. He's one of my favourites so far. Yeah, I know. I agree with everyone. All the comments are saying he's so cute. He really is quite precious. He's great. He likes to bounce around a lot as well. And he's got his lovely curls already coming out. And he's really friendly. So, what happened with these two was that Mum, this lady here, she wasn't too sure about him at first. Like I say, he was born outside, so what happened was he actually came out in a difficult position, should we say. So what happened was the Dartmoors had passed their due-by date. They were way off, and they're out in the field. And then on must have been Tuesday, I think it was, I noticed that she was being quite funny. So I thought, is she gonna lamb? Is she? So anyway, we caught her, and poor wee Archie Jr. was sort of coming out of her, but his tongue was really, really swollen. And that's because lambs are born in what we call the diving position, head first and 2 feet first. But he didn't have his 2 feet, he just had his head. So there's a lot of pressure around his mouth, which is why he had a swollen tongue. But he's okay now, and she loves him. I think she was in shock, and he was in shock as well. So it's taken them a couple of days to bond. Now, usually what you have to do with Dartmoors as well, I'll show you. I'll cut the camera to the other way again. So they have a really, really thick fleece. And what you have to do is you have to sort of trim around here, around her legs, so the lamb can then access the teats for milk. Otherwise, it could be quite confusing for them. They have really quite long, thick wool. So a nice wee trim, and that's what we had to do. And now he's drinking fine. He's drinking really, really well, and she's doing a great job. This isn't her first lamb. She's had two others, I believe. I need to double check, but yeah, 2 others. So that was the Dartmoor, and yeah, he's lovely. He likes to jump around, jump, 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 jump. And we have our first Norfolk. So she is the mum. She is a Gimmer. And for those of you who didn't tune in last week, I was explaining the different sheep terminologies. So a Gimmer means that she's 2, and this is her first lamb. So she had them, like I say, 6:15. Now what happened was, the first lamb, who's a girl, she came out breech. So she came out backwards, and that's not really good because obviously it's quite dangerous for lambs. So we had to give her a wee helping hand, and the second one came out fine. But unfortunately the first one is quite weak, so we've had to put her in what we call a heat box. And I'll take you around and show you the heat box. I want to show you guys as much as possible, but I will show you the Norfolk. So this is a Norfolk horn sheep. And I was explaining last week, again for those of you who tuned in, if you didn't, I will explain again, it's no problem at all. I was explaining about the horn situation, so I was doing a bit of myth busting, and I was saying that sometimes in animals, both males and females can have horns. So she is a female and she's got horns. Now the female horns, they're usually smaller and then the males, and sometimes lambs can be born with horns as well. So she's got her wee lammy there. Now you might be thinking, well, she's looks quite black and the lamb is sort of white. She'll be sort of a white mottled colour as well, but her fleece is covering that. Which is why you see it on the sheep, because obviously its fleece isn't the lamb, because its fleece hasn't come out yet. And she's very protective. You might have just seen she was sort of stamping there, and that's just a wee warning to say you need to back off a wee bit. Now, usually, well, not usually, but all the time after a sheep lambs, their placenta will come out, and that's the same as any living animal on this earth who obviously has a wee one. Their placenta is going to come out. So I don't know if you can sort of see this here. That's her placenta, and that should come out within an hour and a bit of having her lambs. Oh, she's lovely. So to go with the theme of the horns, because I wanted to show you guys last week about the horns, but we didn't have the Norfolks in yet. So what I've done this morning is I've taken in 2 of the tups, 2 of the daddies, to show you just the difference between horns. So you saw the Norfolk girl, she's got kind of wee horns that kind of go back, and that's as much as they're going to grow. Now it's quite typical when the males have horns that they spiral all the way around. So I've taken the Norfolk dad in, who is the dad of those lambs that I've just shown you. I've taken him in to show you what the difference is with horns. So this is the dad, and you can already see the big difference. So he's lovely and spiraled, and he's got great big thick horns. He's very friendly. And you just see them all spiraling, and they've got a lovely, see all the ridges on them. Now, people also sometimes think that, you know, horns are just horns, but there actually is a major blood vessel running through there all the way to sort of near the tip. So sometimes what can happen is that horned animals, their horns might not grow out, and it can grow into their face, and that's obviously not comfortable for them. So sometimes you do have to cut a little bit of horn off for their own benefit, but he's got some just cracking horns, and he's really, really lovely. He's great. So this is what the males will end up like. And like I say, I'll go back over to the female so you can see the difference. Her horns. There we go. So hopefully if anyone takes anything away from the lamb cam, it is that wee fact, because it's quite an important one. And that happens with cattle as well. If you see horned cattle, most likely they're girls and boys. Now a great thing as well, if I'm going to try and zoom in a wee bit, if you guys can see his eyes, his pupils, they are rectangular shaped. And that is the same with goats as well. And that is because sheep and goats, sort of the prey animals, they have about 320 vision. And that kind of rectangular pupil allows them to see almost sort of behind them in case anyone is looking out for them. So just got a question there, do they shed their horns or do they keep growing? Their horns will keep growing until they're fully matured, and then they'll stop. So they don't shed them at all. Sometimes if they've been fighting, they can get a bit of damage. But they're really, really, I mean, they're strong. They're strong horns. I got a little nudge from him this morning when I was taking him in. And yeah, they're strong things. I mean, they're solid. Don't know if you can hear that, but they're solid things. And sometimes what people do is they can make different kind of walking sticks out of horns as well. So if you do need to take a horn off for any reason, then you can make lots of cool different things. So we've got a question from Emily. Do the males ever bond with the lambs? Unfortunately, no, not really. Usually the process is that the tups will go in with the ewes for the sort of 6-week period. They'll go out, and then the tups will go with the other boys until the next season. So they never really have sort of a traditional family unit, but that's just sort of the way it goes. They don't stay in with them all the time. Well, thank you. I was just looking at some more comments here. Oh, thanks very much, everyone. Everyone's saying really excited to come back. Perfect. Cool. So I've got another tup to show you. Now, this is the dad of the grey-faced Dartmoor. So I'll remind you. So this is the ewe, and she's got wee Archie. That's her. Now, the dad is this man here. So, this guy's name, he does have a name. I purchased him with this name. His previous owners already gave him the name. His name is Vespian. Very noble name, Vespian. And he does have eyes, I promise. He's just got a lot of wool. Where's your eyes? There they are. Whee! Oh, beautiful eyes. So he is the grey-faced Dartmoor dad. And you can see he's got a lot of lovely wee dreadlocks on the top. So he's the grey-faced Dartmoor boy. Now, as you can see, no horns. So they are a polled animal, meaning that they don't have horns. And he's munching on some of his hay at the moment. We've got a question from Panos saying, do they eat carrots or just grass and hay? No, they like carrots, yeah. Sheep will have a wee munch of carrots, they quite like them. Traditionally, when obviously Dooney's is open, we do sell wee feed buckets for people to buy, and they can feed the animals. Yeah, so this is Vespian. Now he's got quite a coat on him. He's got a lot of wool. And if you'd like to see him being shorn, we have a video on our YouTube channel of me hand shearing Vespian last year, which was quite a task. Now the reason that we didn't get the shearer in to shear him with electric shears is that his fleece is so dense that the electric shears just don't get through it. So basically just you hand clip them. Now you hand clip them with clipping shears, which are these. These are old rusty ones, these aren't the ones I use, but this is what they look like. And this is what shearers would have used before any sort of mechanical machines were invented. So you just got quite sharp blades, and you can get them angled, so these are angled ones, and what that does, it just helps you sort of stay flush so you don't clip any skin or anything. So Vespian will be getting his clip soon. He's looking at me like, don't come near me with that again. It takes a while. It really does take a while. Okay, so let's pop round to see the Norfolk Horn lamb in the heat box. Now, she's in the heat box because of two reasons. Obviously, she came out breech and she was cold, and we gave her something called Velostrum, which is colostrum for sheep, and she was a bit cold, so she's getting a heat. We've got some questions as we're going round. Are they clipped once a year only? They are, yeah, so all sheep are clipped once a year. It just really depends what time of year you clip them. Dartmoor should be clipped earlier because they've got such a big fleece. Now I really hope my signal doesn't cut out in here. If it does, guys, I'm really sorry. I will come back online. I hope it doesn't cut out. Please don't cut out, please, 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 please. I'll show you the lamb quickly. There she is. Am I still live? Is everyone still there? Someone comment that you're still there. There we go. Gotta come back out here quickly in case my signal does go. Did everyone see her, yeah? I hope so. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Denise. The signal sometimes cuts out in that shed. So that's the heat box, and that's just got a heat lamp in it, and it'll just keep her nice and warm. And she's had colostrum in her stomach, so she's okay. That'll keep her her belly full for 6 hours, and then we'll put her back with Mum, and hopefully Mum will take her. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she'll go back with Mum once she's just got a little bit stronger. Naturally, in nature, they're going to take the stronger lamb. And when the Norfolk had the two, the one that was breech was obviously the weaker one. Hold on, I've just got some lambs jumping about. Oh no, don't stop, don't stop. They were jumping about a second ago. Right, so these are all the girls that are still waiting. Oh, Nikki's asking where the dogs are. Gilly and Archie are away at the moment doing different farm jobs. Also because they'll annoy me if I'm in the tunnel. So all these girlies are still waiting to lamb. There we go. Now what we have done is we have put the pet lambs that we've obviously been showing you guys. Oi! He's butting the feed ring. Stop butting! We've put the pet lambs that we've had the last 3 episodes. They've gone outside. They've flown the nest. So we've taken them to one of the wee fields, and they get some fresh air and they get exercise. And they're still getting their bottles, but it just means that they have a bit more space, you know, they're bigger now. So I'm going to take you to see them. Oh, and now also actually, a couple of lamb cams ago, I was trying to explain about silage and kind of what it looks like. So, have you ever seen this in the fields? The big black things? That's silage. And for anyone who didn't see the other lamb cam, silage is fermented grass or pickled grass that you will feed your stock in the colder months or before the grass comes back. God, it's so nice today. It's so sunny. It's lovely. Right, where's these pet lambs? Oh, I see and hear them. So we've repurposed a shed for them, so they're nice and safe from Mr. Fox. And I will show you them. Hello, guys! I know! All around my feet. Come here, come here. There they are. So they're going to get their bottles. See if we can turn it this way. There we are, hello! So they're having, they're having a great, don't eat my stick, don't eat it, don't eat it. So they're having a great time. Now they love running around. You saw our Instagram video, they were running everywhere. And they've got some friends, they've got one of the Dartmoor mums here and she's got a lamb as well. And one's next door. They're like, we want our food please, there's Rami. They've got so big over the past week, you know, they just grow. Hello! What are you saying? And they're just absolutely loving it outside. You know, they've got all this space to run around, and yeah, if you see our, I think we put the video on Facebook as well. But the first time we took them out, they were just running around. They absolutely loved it. They're like, oh, we've got legs. Look how fast we can run, and they were just off. They were completely off. So I'll put some more videos of these guys up as well for you to see. As well. I'm just checking the time. Oh, we've got plenty of time. That's okay. But look, you know, if you guys have any questions, or if you want to maybe see another lamb cam of the Kerry Hills and the Norfolks, do let me know, because I've really enjoyed doing them, and hopefully, you know, everyone's had a nice time seeing them and just seeing the lambs. Now we have had a lot of people asking us when we're going to reopen, and the answer to that is I just don't know at the moment. I'm really sorry. Sort of the honest answer is that you know, Farmer Graham's just got his COVID injection, and Farmer Debbie's still waiting to get hers. And because we're such a small family team here, you know, there's only 4 of us. We want to make sure that we primarily keep ourselves safe. And I know it's an outdoor space, and we really do want to try our best to open the farm up. We just don't know when that's going to be yet. I'm sorry, I wish I could give you a proper answer, but at the moment we just really don't know. But hopefully in the meantime, these sort of lamb cams will you know, put a smile on your face. I really hope so. Now in terms of name a lamb packs, we've only got a limited number of them left. So if you do want to name a lamb, you could name some of the new Norfolk lambs, you could name some of the new Oxford Down lambs. Like I say, we've only got a limited number. Now with the pack, you get a certificate which says the lamb's name that you've named it and your own name. You get cool sort of agriculture, you know, animal wee sticker books and colouring books. You get crayons, colouring pencil, rubbers. You get I'm a Dooney's farmer badge. It's quite cool, you know, for kiddies, but hey, adults have ordered them too. Why not? Why not indeed? So we'll just have a look at some more questions before we sign off. Oh, thanks so much guys. Everyone's saying, you know, they had a really nice time seeing them. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, guys. It means a lot to us that you've tuned in, and that, you know, a lot of people are really enjoying these. We've got a good question here from Karina saying that some of the lambs are wearing plastic coats, and what are they? So plastic coats are, I don't know if we have any up here actually, they're called lambing jackets. And they're a little plastic bib that you put over a lamb, and it keeps them nice and warm, it keeps the heat in. So if they're really weak, and they're either outside, they need a little bit of extra sort of extra heat, you put the wee plastic lamb jacket over it, and as they grow, the plastic's really thin, so it eventually stretches and breaks off. And that's what the wee coats were. Don't know if I have any up here actually. Mr. Tuck is a bit feisty today. No, I don't have any up here. But great question, yeah, that's the reason why. I'll just see if there's any more questions. Oh, thank you guys, that's great, thank you. Now, if you also see actually, you might be driving and see in the field that the sheep have different colours on them. You know, you might see it on their backs. For example, if I switch the camera around, see she's got a blue spot and an orange spot. Now, sometimes that could be for multiple reasons. So during sort of tupping season, which is when the tups will go in with the ewes, farmers will put something on a tup called a raddle, and it's like a sort of a paint can, kind of, you know, there's a colour on them. So the point is that when the tup and the ewe have a very special date, the ewe's back will then be the colour of whatever the tup's raddle colour is. It's like a wee something that sits on them, and that means that they've had a lovely date, and hopefully that will result in lambs. Now, in the case of the two dots that I just showed you on the Oxford ewe there, that can mean different things. You get spray paint for different things, so it could mean that she's had, you know, her medicine for worms, or it could mean that she maybe had a sore foot and that we've treated it and we sprayed her with it, sprayed her with a spray, so we know in the field, oh, she's got the orange spray, that's her that's had the sore foot. So it's basically an identification marker. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other ones who have different marks, but they've kind of all rubbed off. Cool, so let's see any more questions. So we've got a question from Kelly saying, do you ever sell the wool once you've shorn the sheep? We do, yeah. So what we do is there's something called the wool board, who take the wool and they buy it off us. But unfortunately, wool really isn't a pricey commodity anymore. You don't get a lot of money for wool unless you're breeding sheep whose wool is kind of quite top quality. But for our ones, we're not gonna get big bucks out of it, to be honest. The money we get from the wool board covers the shearer cost. I do sometimes sell the fleeces to different people who might felt with them or knit with them or make different things. But that's just down to someone coming to me and saying, I'd like to buy a fleece for you. And it's a raw fleece, and what that means is that it's straight off the sheep and it's not washed, it's not dressed, it's not carded, it's a complete raw fleece. So we try and pick the poo off it as much as we can. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Great. Just looking at some more questions here before we round off. How many types of lambs are there here? That's from Nikki. Well, we're basically just waiting for the next 3 breeds to lambs. So eventually, in the next month, there'll be 6 different breeds of lambs on the farm. And I'll post pictures of them on social media for you, so you can see. Cool. Right, what's the time? Oh, we're grand. Okay. Well, listen guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. It really means a lot to us all that so many of you are really keen to see what's happening at the farm. I know that we are quite a small fry business in terms of what Aberdeen has, but we do try our best. you know, with just the 4 of us here, and it really is a passion of ours that we're farming and we're still here. So, you know, thanks so much for everyone's support with this, and we really appreciate it. So yeah, let me know if you want another lamb cam. This is just the sort of, I only planned to do 4 because I didn't know if people were going to be up for it or not. But if you want another one, then I might put a wee poll on Instagram or Facebook or something saying if there's enough people who want to watch it, then I'll do it again. And you can maybe see the Kerry Hill lambs. That would be quite nice. But just let me know. But listen guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's bye from me now. Bye!